Hey everybody, it's Jack and Dan.
What's up, guys? We got the RYOBI 100 amp riding mower here. We've had it now for, what's it been, 3.5 years, man.
Yeah.
About every 6 months, ever since we got these things, ever since we got this thing, we have done a video on it because so many people have been interested in it. And it has accumulated close to 1 million views with all those videos, hasn't it?
It's one of our biggest things.
The thing is people are very interested in this mower, and a lot of people are thinking about buying it, and they put comments in there that they're glad to follow along with how it's gone for us. We did have a slight issue with one of the batteries at about 2.5 years, a year ago. We do think that it was a manufacturer defect. We think the battery is basically bad from the beginning, and we replaced it, and it actually has worked better since then. We did a 6-month follow-up, which was at its 3-year anniversary, when we did all these leaves and everything around here in the fall, didn't we?
Yes.
And it worked great. It worked better than it did before when we originally got it. So we do think the battery was defective from the get-go, and we'll put those videos in the description. It's very simple to get a battery for this. You do not need to go through RYOBI. It's basically just a wheelchair battery or a golf cart battery.
We just got one from a store in like Elyria or something. It works pretty well.
Yeah, it was an awesome battery store. Again, we'll put links in the description for that if you want to find out how to do it. This is going to be a full year after that new battery. We are starting off with fresh, just got plugged in. This should last 2.5 hours to 2.5 acres. We only have about a full acre here. However, it's been a long spring of like snowing and raining and all that stuff, hasn't it?
Yes.
So we got super long grass. You can tell it's spring. Look at those trees budding, how gorgeous it is.
We got long grass.
Really long grass.
Especially
look at this.
Right here.
Look at this grass, guys. Stuff's like a foot deep right here. Now, here's what we're going to do. We still have the plow on here. We're going to pop this plow off. We're going to show you how easy it is to do. Again, we like the Brinley-Hardy plow. However, we were kind of the guinea pigs. We were one of the first people to buy it, and it did have some issues, which we talked about. They have since then redone it, and it is about $300, and we've used it for 3 winters now. This last winter, we used it a lot, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot. And it held up great. Again, we just kind of made some reinforcements and stuff. Has not really been a huge problem. Hopefully it'll last for years to come. One more quick thing. A lot of people have said that they have had issues with the bags, dry rotting. We have not had any issues at all. They are working awesome. We do try to make sure we leave them hanging. We do try to make sure we empty them. And, you know, when we cut wet grass or leaves or anything like that, that has not been an issue for us. So really, very little issues other than this battery. We're going to test it right now today. We're going to see if this new battery's holding up. All right, so this is how easy this is, guys. This bracket holds on here. All Jack's going to do is pop all 4 of these pins out. It's really pretty simple to do.
Oh, yeah, it's that hard.
And then you want to get the bottom ones.
Okay.
Here. Come around the other side. And then we just pop those pins out.
Yeah.
And then these rods are going to come out. We'll see. The one might come out pretty easy. Yep, look at that. There's that one.
Pretty satisfying.
And then just pull that one out of the other side. It's got the pressure. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So there's the plow. So the plow comes right off. We just leave that harness on all summer. You don't have to mess around with that. Again, we did a whole video about putting this together and putting it on.
She's all free.
And we're going to put that right in the shed. And yeah, it is ready to go.
Pretty nice animal socks there, huh?
Dude, I got my animal socks on for the first day of spring out here, kicking butt, right? Awesome. Animal was the best. He played the drums. So anyway, come on, bring it in here. I want to show him this dial right here. We're going to turn it on. As you can see, we're at about 65 hours. Now, we were at 60 hours before winter. We only used about 5 hours plowing because even though we did it like 10 or 12 times, it only takes 20 minutes or so. As you can see, this is all the way to the blue. So technically, we should only use about half this battery to do our grass, even though it's deep and even though we're bagging and everything like that. I'm going to turn the headlight off. It does usually start with the headlight on, so I go ahead and turn that off just to save a little bit of energy. It's not going to use a lot, their LED. And we'll show you a little bit later because it might get dark on us. Now, the other thing, of course, we want to show, it does have a USB port. So if you got a phone or if you got headphones or something, you can do that. You can actually stick your phone right in this little thing over here. And, of course, this does the blade forward, reverse, neutral, all that. This is the reverse mode. So if you're going to go in reverse and you want the blade to be running, you hit this button first, then you go in reverse. We really never use that, but it is kind of cool. Also, they have a cruise. So if you've got a lot of long area and stuff like that, then, you know, you could kind of hit that cruise and you don't have to hit the pedal. There is also, if you come around over here, a parking brake. So if you're on a hill or something like that, you can hit that. And then over here, you got your little cup holder. And it is nice. Now, I have, what do I have, 38-inch inseam? I mean, Jack and I are both like all legs. So just to show you guys, people were a little concerned about this. This thing comes all the way up like this. So if you have short legs, obviously not going to be a problem. And then if you have long legs, it goes all the way back. Yeah. I mean, honestly, guys, look at this.
That's a lot of space.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm all legs, and this I'm very comfortable on this. So, you know, from a size standpoint, there's really no issues at all. We cut a little bit,
depending on
in the middle.
Your grass height, you can change it.
Yeah, I mean, it is very versatile. So we're going to go ahead and rock this. And again, step back just so you can get a little bit of an idea of what it sounds like. It does make a lot more noise than people think it's going to make because of the actual blades, the fanage of the blades.
But the engine itself, unlike a combustible engine for a gas motor, does not make any noise.
Yeah, there's no noise from the motors or anything, really. So I'll just kind of turn that on to give you an idea. And then you hit that stop, and it instantly stops. So again, there is some noise, but it is more quiet than a regular. So we like that, and we also like the fact that it doesn't rumble and rattle like our old gas mower does. And then, of course, we also like the fact that we're not getting all those fumes. Now, a lot of people say things like, hey, you know, how much does it cost? Well, it's difficult for us to make this assessment because if you look up here, we've got 25 solar panels on the front of our house, 25 on the back, 25 on the front. So you have 50 solar panels. We basically don't have an electric bill because we converted to solar 8 years ago, which is one of the reasons we bought this. We have electric car, we have electric lawnmower, we have electric tools. We have no gas here at all whatsoever. So we're completely electric and we are completely through solar. And we will be doing a follow-up on that because we have almost hit the 70,000 kilowatt mark. We make about 10,000 a year. So we're going to be doing a follow-up on that soon too. All right, let's hit this and we'll see where we're at. We're going to test this new battery and see what happens. Okay, guys, so I have gone all around the front, and we have had to dump 4 times already, 8 huge bags of grass. Jack's going to take over, and here's what's going on here. We have gone to, there's our neighbor's dog, 66. So we have gone 0.7 hours, and we are, this bar here just disappeared right before we turn this off. So we're at about halfway point. However, the halfway point time-wise should be half of 2.5 hours, which is 1 hour and 15 minutes, not 45 minutes. So it looks like there may be another issue either with the battery we replaced already or one of the other ones. We're not exactly sure. Now, it is a little hard to tell because, as Jack said, this grass is super, super crazy long. And it does bog down a little bit. We're going to show you some of the areas. I mean, any mower bogs down a little bit when it's really heavy grass.
Yeah, this is also an electric mower, so it might have had a toll on the motor or something.
It may have drawn more energy, but still, at this point in time, I'm a little bit disappointed. We will see if we can get the rest of this grass done. Again, I got the front half done. Jack's going to finish the back. The way we do it is Jack trim and edges the back while I cut the front, and then vice versa. And then we kind of, work together like that. And we're just going to, now, normally later in the year, after the first 2 cuts or so, we do put the Mulcher Blade on. And again, we have done videos about that. And, we just mulch it. We don't bag it. We only do the leaves in the fall and then in the spring because there's a lot of leaves left and very tall grass. So we're going to show them going over a couple of these areas. And a lot of people also have questions about incline. So we are going to take you to an incline kind of area and show you how it does on there as well. All right, here's one of the big circle areas here. You can really see, I mean, the bags are full of air. They're not clogging. We haven't had to chute clog at all. The grass is fairly dry, but it is super long. I mean, you can see how this is. One of the things we really do like about this is it is very maneuverable. We haven't had any issues at all with the tires, the steering, anything like that at all. Mechanically, it's just really been that one battery. So yeah, I mean, you can see this is zipping it up. I mean, pretty good. This thing does move pretty quick. We're going to show you over here on the incline too how it does. All right, one of the things people have asked us about before is how is this thing on an incline? Now, we got that little Protractor 360 app on our phone. It's pretty cool. We've used it in other videos for other things. And we do have about a 10% incline here. You can see that we have the bottom of the driveway built up and stuff like that. So we set the phone down over here and you know, flat on the driveway, and that is about 10% incline. We're going to show you here in the part of the yard, though, what Jack's going to do. I'm going to turn around so we can see it real good. All right, here's what Jack's going to do. Jack's going to turn the blade on, and then after it gets going, he's going to hit it and see how fast it goes up this incline. Yeah, I mean, there's really no problem at all. It really doesn't have a problem. Again, if you have bigger than a 10% incline, you might have an issue. As far as we know, you know, it doesn't have any kind of problem with that at all. All right, so we just wanted to show you that because a lot of people have questions about it. Now, just to show you what's going on here, I mean, obviously, we live in between like two cul-de-sacs here. So our tree lawn is massive. That's why people say, oh, it doesn't look like you really have an acre of land. We really do have a lot. This tree lawn goes all the way over here. It takes about 6 passes here, and then it goes all the way down to the other side, almost down to where those cones are. So, and then that takes 6 passes. So we literally get, we have to stop 2 times. So we get 4 bags of grass just on our tree lawn alone. Now then we have this whole front area here, and then all on the side up there. And then, of course, there's the other side of the house on that side. So it is actually quite a bit of grass. We will sometimes get 10 or 12 bags of grass when we cut. And then, of course, with leaves, if you've never seen those videos, I mean, that's outrageous. We can get, you know, 60, 70, 80 bags of leaves, depending on the time. Now, this is where all the trimming comes in. Jack and I took about 1,000 bricks when we moved in here, and we kind of bricked around all these beds and everything. Now, obviously, it's a spring, so they're kind of a mess, but we did get the first edging and trimming done. And just so you can see, guys, with this bag, I mean, we got a little bit of residual grass here, but I could probably pass over that again and it would suck it up. For the most part, it really does suck up great into the bag. We have very little issues. You can see here in the street, too, kicks a little bit down to the street. Not bad, just because I'm kind of hanging over the edge with the tire, because I want to get a close cut there. And so I'll take the blower and I'll just kind of walk down here and I'll shoot that kind of back up and blow all this stuff off here. Our plan is actually to join these two together this year because there's so many roots in this middle area and it doesn't get any sun and it's just dying off. So we're actually going to mess around with these bricks this spring, and we're going to kind of join these two together and just mulch all of this in between here and then all of that. And then we'll be able to take the lawnmower and kind of just cut all along and then back to the back. And we might make a little walking trail or something. You can see there's just tree roots in here. There's just tons of tree roots from these guys. And, you know, honestly, it just doesn't get any sun because of the trees, which is why all of this was mulched in to begin with. But we're just going to join them together. You see all these guys coming in here. This is really late. I mean, it's almost May 1st. And this stuff's really not coming in. It literally snowed 4 inches like a week ago when we were in Texas on spring break. And we came home to just, you know, a mess of a yard. So we're going to reposition some of these bricks and do some stuff like that. But anyway, Jack loves driving this thing. I like, you know, like I said, I like the fact that, you know, the fumes were the biggest thing for me. I hated the fumes on the old mower. That was one of my least favorite things. And, you know, just dealing with the gas and the oil and everything like that. We will see what's up with this battery. We're going to wait and see if he gets done here, see where we're at time-wise. Sometimes those first few bars do go down when I'm getting a lot of that really heavy grass on the side over there. It just draws a lot, and then sometimes it doesn't even change that much. So we'll see kind of what happens here. So we had to stop and dump again. So I think that's like eight bags now or something like that. And by the time he's done in all this, he may actually lower it a little more and go over it a little more. We are getting a treatment done. We haven't even had a treatment done, almost May 1st, because of the snow and everything going on. So, you know, they're going to come and spray the weeds and all that kind of stuff on Monday, which is why we wanted to get this done Friday night here. But yeah, you can see, I mean, he's moving along. He's going fast. I mean, this thing boogies, man. And this is when he starts to mess around and just, you know, have fun riding it, really, swerving around and going through the trees over here and whatnot. Aren't they something, though? Look at those guys. You know, and that's another thing. They're just blooming now, almost at May 1st. They usually do that at around April 1st. So everything's really whacked this year. Yeah, you can see how tall that is in the middle there. With how, you know, with how tall, I mean, it's really just slamming. It really is. We'll stop and dump these last 2 bags here since he's almost done. That'll be 10 bags. We'll see where we're at on the time, and we'll see what's up the battery. Again, sometimes when it's really heavy like this, it does seem to suck some energy up, and that battery will go down the first, 30 to 45 minutes, but then it'll stay at that halfway point for like an hour or another hour and a half. So that may just be the case, because it was really, really deep, especially some of this stuff right here. What happens here is this shed reflects the light because this faces south, and it beams on this, and it grows like crazy, but then later in the summer it all dies. You can see there's a little patch there from last year still. We're actually thinking of painting these doors a different color, maybe a darker color, so that it doesn't reflect the light, but it like absorbs it. I don't know. We'll see. We should probably just put solar panels on them since they face south. Maybe we'll put a couple more panels on the doors there. Okay, one of the things Jack wanted to show people, this is one of the things people have questions with too. You can see this thing goes pretty fast. Jack wanted to show people how it went without it. And so when you kill the blades, it really moves. It probably goes almost twice as fast, wouldn't you say? And you can see it doesn't make any noise at all. I mean, it literally sounds like a golf cart, because technically that's what it is. A little bit cooler than a golf cart, though, like a dune buggy kind of thing, huh? You can see how fast it goes without the blades going. So, really neat. Go ahead and turn them back on and show how it slows down. So it still goes fairly quick. Again, like even when you accelerate all the way, it still cuts fairly quick. But, just so you can see the difference there, it is a lot faster without that draw into the blade motors. Jack loves riding this thing. Absolutely loves it. A lot of people say to us too, they say, well, your yard's really not that big. You could probably use a push mower. To people who say that, here's the thing. It takes over an hour to do it with this, and that's with no leaves or anything, and that's with bagging. We did do this, remember we did it with a push mower a couple times when our old mower broke down, and it took like 3 hours or something. Yeah, it's horrible. Well, especially when we had to bag it with the leaves and stuff. We probably could get away in the summertime with using a push mower and mulching it, but at the end of the day, because of all these leaves, I mean, we get so many leaves from all these trees, and we have to clean these leaves up so many times. I mean, you could see them. The trees are everywhere, and they're oak trees, guys. And these oak trees, the leaves are unbelievably hard, and they fall really late. So we have to cut for several months with the leaves, and that would be really, really hard to deal with. So it is a beautiful machine. Go ahead and pull over here. Let's empty these last 2 bags, and let's see where we're at with this battery and stuff, man. All right, so we dumped the last 2 bags. That was 10 bags total. It looks like it did flip over to, this sometimes doesn't come up in the screen, 66.3. So it took an entire hour. And again, this really didn't move. So it kind of did, it just draws a lot in the beginning, and then it kind of hangs out. Would it have lasted another hour and a half? Hard to say. Hard to say. Again, when we're cutting in the summertime and mulching, and it's kind of like dry grass compared to this, I've gone and cut it in an hour mulching it, and it counts an hour, and the battery's not down at all. So we don't know if we're in the clear yet or not. We'll have to see how it continues, to go. I mean, it may crush, or we may have to test these batteries. Chances are me and Dwayne might test them again anyway. Dwayne's our neighbor that helped us change the first time. He's a retired mechanic.
He knows everything.
Yeah, he tested them out and everything. We may test them again to see if there's an issue with one of them. We'll kind of see how the next couple cuts go. We're going to obviously continue to...
I think this is just a very fine cut. We haven't done it in a while.
It was tough. Super long grass. A lot of leaf were mixed in. It was actually kind of not really wet, but it was kind of damp. So, hey, It's kind of hard to tell at this point, but without testing them, but we're going to cut a few more times. And obviously, like we always say, we're going to keep doing updates and stuff. All right, so overall, so far, we love this thing, other than the fact that we had that one issue with the battery. It's crushed for 3 winters. It's crushed for 3 springs. We're going into our 4th summer with it. It's 3.5 years old, and it's done a miraculous job for us. Jack loves driving it. You almost took off there, didn't you? So, you know, again, we really appreciate all the views people have had on here, the questions. We try to answer every question that people leave comments. And again, hopefully this helps you to make a decision of whether or not you want to purchase this. We are pretty happy with it. Again, if we got to be buying like a new battery every year on it, probably not going to be so happy. No. But we'll kind of see what happens down the road, and we will continue to update you guys and let everybody know what's going on. And obviously, like we always say, you know, hit the subscription button and hit the bell so you can get updates. We do lots of videos reviewing lots of things like this. We're all about conservation. We're all about the environment. We're all about trying to make changes like this. We are going to be doing a big follow-up on the solar panels, like we said recently, because we haven't done one in a long time, and we're kind of hitting that milestone of 70,000 kilowatts, which is pretty neat, huh? Yeah. Can you imagine? I mean, we made 70,000 kilowatts on our house from the sun. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so I know Jack just wants to take off and ride around for a little bit longer because he's got energy left in the battery. So, hey, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Take care. All right, so I just want to show real quick after Jack jumped around for a long time. It's now at 66.5, so we've actually used 1.2 hours, and it still is right exactly where it was. So again, sometimes you're hitting that really thick grass in the beginning, it'll just kind of draw down. So I don't know, we're thinking we might be okay. We're going to kind of see how it goes here, and we will continue to do updates like we always do, right, buddy? Yeah. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.